Chairman Lee, Ranking Member Hendrick, and all members of this committee. Thank you for the opportunity to bring the state of Puerto Rico today. I think it's important to have in the territories today. As governor, I made a commitment to restore fiscal responsibility, accelerate the reconstruction of our energy grid and critical infrastructure, and strengthen Puerto Rico's contribution to national and economic security. And we are delivering some results. In 2016, Puerto Rico faced bankruptcy, and Congress enacted PROMESA. Last year, I signed our first certified balanced budget since that law. And now, for the first time in a decade, the government of Puerto Rico led the budget development process. Once approved by 13 days, we expect this will become our second certified balanced budget. We have cut contract spending by over $900 million in just 1 year, and repealed nearly 400 regulations and 13 pages of obsolete regulatory text. And we are advancing reforms to improve the ease of doing business and attract investment on the island. As a result, total employment reached 1.1 million in March of this year, the highest level since 2008. In 1 year, our trade surplus expanded by 30%, exports increased by 3.6%, reaching $64.2 billion. And construction employment increased by 5%, adding 1,900 jobs. When I took office, Puerto Rico was facing a power generation shortfall, and projections indicated that we will experience widespread blackouts last summer. Thanks to God, and working with the Trump administration and with emergency orders from the Department of Energy, we restored more than 1,600 megawatts of generation capacity and have not experienced an island-wide blackout in over a year. With DOE support, we are investing $368 million in grid improvements scheduled for completion by the end of this year. With EPA permitting assistance, we are converting power plants from oil to cleaner and more affordable natural gas, a transition expected to reduce energy costs by approximately $180 million annually. We are also pursuing 3,000 megawatts of new permanent baseload generation through public-private partnerships. Through our strong oversight of utility operators, we have accelerated FEMA-funded energy reconstruction projects, increasing construction by more than 25%. FEMA-funded permanent works projects in execution have increased by more than 37%. During the past week, over 1,100 customers lacked water due to decades of underinvestment in our water utility system. We're still restoring that service. And to permanently restore it, we have committed over $7.5 billion in 351 active capital improvement projects. We're helping bring manufacturing back to America through an aggressive reshoring strategy. After all, made in Puerto Rico is made in the USA. To date, 23 manufacturing companies such as Eli Lilly, Amgen, Stryker have committed to invest more than $2.6 billion and create more than 5,700 jobs, supporting our economy while reducing U.S. dependence on foreign adversaries for pharmaceuticals and other critical products. With the renewed attention on the Western Hemisphere, Puerto Rico is also playing a leading role supporting the counter-narcotics operations in the Caribbean and keeping the homeland safe. Looking ahead, one of our most pressing priorities is securing long-term Medicaid funding for Puerto Rico after the current 5-year agreement I achieved while I was serving in Congress expired in September 2027. More than 1.3 million Americans on the island rely on this program. As I have outlined, we are balancing budgets, rebuilding our infrastructure, strengthening American supply chain, and creating new opportunities. As the United States approaches its 250th anniversary, Puerto Rico stands ready to continue contributing as an equal, full-fledged member of the Union. Since 2012, Puerto Rico voters have chosen statehood in 4 plebiscites. I look forward to working with Congress to respect that democratic mandate and secure equal rights, responsibilities, and representation for the 3.2 million Americans who call Puerto Rico home. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Thanks so much, Governor. Colon, I'd like to start with you. Your former Secretary of Economic Development resigned after stating publicly that interventions by your office following contracting investigations quote, made it impossible to continue performing the duties of the position with the integrity and autonomy that the role requires and that every secretary owes to the public, close quote. Now, his resignation was followed by 10 other senior officials' resignations at the resignation of the director of Core 3, the disaster recovery terminal. Now, did you or anyone in your office encourage, direct, or request that disciplinary actions related to these investigations be reversed?
No, sir. And first, they're separate things. The first, the allegations are false. The second, the Core 3 director did resign, and he told me about that in April of this year because he got a family issue, and he will continue to work with me in other assets. So it's completely false, the allegation the former secretary is making. Second, he did ask about that contract, and I instructed him about canceling because he prompted the problem with the contract, and he was worried about the situation. So I told him to, if he was distracted, to cancel and redo the contract. No contract was awarded whatsoever. So those are false allegations, and they're investigated at this time by the Department of Justice in Puerto Rico.
Okay. So you've ordered an independent review of
Yes.
the allegations that have
Yes.
been raised, and you're categorically denying
All of them.
allegations of the
All of
former
them.
Director of Economic Development. Now, how can Congress be assured that federal funds sent to Puerto Rico aren't being misused or misplaced?
First of all, there are many federal funding on the island. We've been increasing the participation with the federal IG office, the federal FEMA, with the FBI, and all the federal liaisons in many of the areas. We're increasing the reports in all of the agencies. Not federal funding at this time, during the last year, are being misused. As a matter of fact, we are increasing the use of federal funding, and we are imposing more regulations to oversight and approving and presenting more local laws to review and do oversight on local and federal budgeting and review and corrupt probes as well.
Okay, so if the allegations raised by the former Secretary of Economic Development are emphatically entirely false, any idea why he would say those things if they were untrue? It seems like the kind of accusation that he would know if it were not true, that could be figured out. Any ideas on that?
I don't know what political motivations he may have. I don't have an idea. He submitted an allegation of one of his employees that has been submitted to investigation, that is part of the Department of Justice, and he was referred to further investigation by the Secretary of Justice in Puerto Rico and is right now under current investigation, and that's the allegation. Saying that my office, myself, or my chief of staff is involved is completely false. And creating the narrative of any kind of involvement in this issue is completely false again. There is no evidence. There's no evidence of that, sir. And I will tell you more. The facts are there. There is no sworn deposition at this time, and the employee that he is referring, he's fighting that allegation as well.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Hofschneider,